Hello, peeps. I am back from Scotland. It was awesome. Um, and it was wonderful. The food was great. I held an owl. I think I have a picture of it, but I'm not sure if I can share it with you. Let me see. Oh, wait, let me see. Yipes. I'll see if I can find it really quick. See. I just had a granola bar, so sorry if I'm like, because you know how it gets. Let's see. Pictures. Because I've had people say, "Oh, I want to see pictures," so I'm not gonna show you like all 700 pictures because we took a crap ton of pictures. Um, but this one was super fun, so I'm super like love it. So where is it? Where's my owl picture? I couldn't believe it. We were standing outside Edinburgh Castle, just kind of like wandering around, you know how you do, and let's see. If I can technology. Let me see if I can do this. Share screen. Uh, select. No, this one. Okay. And then here, add to stage. I guess that's what it's supposed to do. There we go. Ooh, there's me with my owl. Let me see if I can make her bigger. There. So there's me with my owl. Her name was Guinevere. I forget what kind of owl. She was like a special kind of owl, which I was like, I still haven't looked it up. I should probably look it up because I love me some animals. But anyways, this is me. Hi, I'm Soul Coach Michelle, coming to you from Soul Coach Studio channel on YouTube. And if you are watching on Facebook and you are new to me, I am a co-creative coach, soul coach, and your friendly neighborhood super woo. So I am so glad that you're here. This is my owl from my trip to Scotland. Her name was Guinevere, and I love her, and she's awesome. There's some other photos I'm sure I'm going to upload to Facebook when I get a minute. It's been kind of crazy since I got back. I'm just going to go back to me right now. Okay, so here I am, just me, not with my owl. And welcome back to the weekly energy report and intuitive chat. So, what if you're on my email list, you probably got my email this morning, and in it, I gave a couple of tips because I felt like one of the biggest things I learned while I was in Scotland was kind of a figurative, or I don't know how you would put it, but where everybody was so kind. I mean, I must say, the Scottish people, if you're in Scotland, not to diss any other country because, I'm in the US, but the fact is, they are so kind. They are so kind, and they kind of like are in their own world until you engage. And then when you engage, they're like the most helpful, kind people ever. Um, and it just is, let's see, stop sharing. How do I do that? There we go. Um, and they are just so kind and wonderful. And to the point where like we would eat dinner at a restaurant down the street from our hotel, and the next morning they'd be sweeping their sidewalk and they'd be like, "Oh, we remember you, and how are you doing? What did you do yesterday after we saw you? Or, what are you going to do today?" They were just so friendly and nice. It was almost like we showed up and it was like instant community. So we had a lovely time, met an owl, went to the Edinburgh Castle, went to the Witchery. If you have not been and Edinburgh is on your list, you have to reserve a table for tea at the Witchery. It was fantastic. My friend Heather told me about it, and we went there for my birthday and it was delicious. I ate haggis. I am going to tell you that if you eat haggis, it will not kill you. It's not totally gross. It tastes kind of like a cross between a sausage and a meatball. So, these are like my musings. But the thing that I wanted to talk about today, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull cards for the month today so that we can kind of talk. And I am not sure why my window is not pulling down the way it should and letting me do the things that I should. So I hope I'm still streaming live. Oh, there we go. That's that. And I can't get to my comments if you're commenting. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, back to all of this. My computery stuff, I think Mercury comes out of its retrograde shade. Let me look because my stuff is still flipping wonky. I think it's supposed to come out of retrograde shade on Friday because mm, 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 mm. because I don't know about y'all, but my computers have been acting wonky, so it's either sunspots or that. But anyway, so this week I want to talk about a month where, yes, a lot of folks are talking about it's going to be great, it's awesome, and I feel that too. I feel like forward motion is big in October, and a couple of things are going to be at warp speed because we have two, count them, two. We have our solar eclipse and our lunar eclipse. Um, you know, they are happening. So I believe, let's see. Yep. Solar eclipse on the 14th, lunar eclipse on the 28th. And when you were in between eclipses, which is kind of that 2 week period, it's going to be like whew, warp speed. And so I wanted to kind of talk because I also feel like the world in general is in this kind of unbalanced state. And it kind of dawned on me when we were in Scotland because before I went, everybody that I talked to said, make sure you wear good shoes. All the video we watched was like, bring hiking shoes. And now I know why. It felt like everything was uphill. And when you thought you were going to go downhill, no, you went uphill again, or the downhill was like literally this steep. I mean, it was nuts, but in a good way because I was very glad that at 51, because I turned 51 while I was there, that I could do all the things. I was still good. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you that Merrill does not sponsor my podcast, my video cast, any of the channel stuff, but I'm going to just go on about how awesome Merrill hiking shoes are. If you are a hiking person, go get Merrell's because they are amazing. I sprayed them with some Kiwi waterproof, like the camping waterproof before we went. My feet were comfy and dry, and I walked literally a 70-degree, it was about like a 70-degree angle from the bottom of the hill all the way up a mile to the castle in Edinburgh in these shoes on cobblestones. So, you know, everything was very unbalanced and unstable under my feet, but the shoes were great. So, that said, it kind of is a metaphor for what I want to talk about, which is striving for balance in an unbalanced world. So you have this land where everyone's so like they're always kind of contemplating. They seem very intentional about everything that they do, from their transportation to their day. I mean, every day at 1 o'clock the cannon goes off. I don't know why. Was I think it was something like it's cheaper to fire it at 1 o'clock instead of noon. But it was like, okay, everybody knows it at 1 o'clock, and then go on with their life. Make sure they're on time for the day. Um, certain, like, all the breakfast and lunch places close at 3, and then you can have you're in a you can have dinner from an or tea from like 4 to whatever, and then everybody closes at 8. So it's almost like, unless you're looking to eat at American fast food, that's another thing. So everything is very intentional about how they live, which I think is interesting because when you walk around the street, you know that the city is centuries old. It's very pedestrian driven. Everything was cobblestones because they last forever, but they're very hard to walk on, especially when it's wet and raining, which in Scotland it rains all the time. We were really lucky. It rained pretty much every day, but only for about an hour. All of that to say, it really was a metaphor of creating balance in an unbalanced world. Like, I think earlier this week, I posted on Facebook and Instagram, or maybe it was just Facebook. I don't know, y'all. I swear, sometimes I just don't know what my social media does. It just is. So and it was kind of like the universe saying, "Hey, this is you're on track." And it says there is no path to peace. Peace is the path. And that's what I'm trying to talk about today. If I'm not making a lot of sense, I feel like I'm trying to let spirit kind of just flow. But that's where we are. We are in that we need to be really intentional about creating peace and balance in our lives for ourselves in a very unbalanced and unpeaceful feeling time. Whether you're watching the news or it's like as a collective or in your personal life, it might feel like an unbalanced time right now. And we can either allow that to be where we are and just resist, or we can move on. And so in my newsletter, I gave 3 tips how to do that. And they're kind of like metaphoric based on our Scotland trip. So the first tip, just to kind of run through it really quick, and you can read like the newsletter. If you're not on my newsletter list, you better get on it. Go to my website and sign up for it. But there's 3 things. The first thing is find your Merrill hiking shoe. Like, it creates support, stability, and traction for you. So that's a metaphor, really. So what does that look like? Find something within yourself that gives you that support, stability, and creates traction. Because if we look at the outside world for it, it's not there. It's not going to be there. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of unbalanced and unpeaceful stuff going on if we look outside. So what does your Merrill hiking shoe look like on and it's a daily practice. Like I said, in the peace, if peace is the path, not, what you're looking for outside, it is what you do. Figure out what helps you, because like some self-care stuff that we all talk about isn't necessarily for everyone. So find what is yours, what creates stability, support, and traction in your life. For me, it is a morning ritual where I meditate, I clear my energy. um, I do some tapping right out the gate. I do a meditation that I created based on the four agreements, to remind myself to be centered and what I'm where my inner charge comes from, where my inner peace comes from, and then you know and then I might do like a brain balancing. So that's me. So for you, it might be something else. It might be cooking, it might be walking, going outside, it might be running 5 miles. Whatever reconnects you to you, that gives you that place, that grounded place to go, is going to be helpful. Number two, that was the other thing, mop your storefront sidewalk. So whenever we would get up in the morning and go out to go maybe grab breakfast somewhere, what we noticed was a lot of folks that owned businesses would be outside mopping the slate sidewalk in front of their business, keeping it tidy, clean, and welcoming. So, and just creating this really welcoming and loving energy, um, clearing away whatever was there from yesterday, and then creating their ambiance for the day. So I love that. And I wanted to use that as another metaphor for creating balance in an unbalanced world. So mop your sidewalk. Okay. If you are, what that really means is create within yourself a clear energy slate. Mop your sidewalk, mop your energy, do it in the morning and the night. Make sure that you are managing your energy as you wander out in the world. Um, and be the person who is striving to create peace and balance within their life. Because what happens is when you start doing that, based on law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you want more people that create balance and peace for you, instead of tumult and unbalance, then if you are striving to create that within yourself and you're doing things that do that, and you're finding that you're doing it more often for yourself, you will attract more people like that into your life too. So you will be on the journey with other folks doing the same thing, which makes it more fun. And then lastly, accept the cobblestones for what they are. So what does that mean? I know there is, and it was funny because I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's going through some stuff, and she was like, "I've been going down rabbit holes trying to figure out what to do about this situation to make myself feel better." Let me just take a sip. Oh, this is my hairy coo cup. It's either hairy coo or woolly coos. Anyways, they're cows that have bangs, and they live in Scotland, and they're adorable. Anyway, so I was talking to my friend, and I said, here's the process. I know you're not going to like it because you're not there yet, but this is how it goes. Basically, when shit happens, the way to manifest through it is, you can't hop over it. She was talking about the law of assumption, which is assuming that the universe is on your side, which is great. But a lot of teachers kind of gloss over what this looks like. And it turns into something like toxic positivity, where it's like, assume, like, fake it till you make it, like, just act happy until you are, which that's creating unprocessed emotions and stuck energy. When really the law of assumption is A, accept where you are. Here's where I am. Once I accept it, I can move to the next phase. Because if I'm spending energy not accepting where I'm at, you know what that's called? Resistance, because we're resisting what is. We're resisting, and resistance can be about a situation. It could be about your highest good. It could be about you being worthy of everything. But in this instance, what I'm talking about, accepting the cobblestones for what they are. In this really lovely situation with these lovely people, they're always walking on an uneven ground. And the way that they got to how they just flow with everything is by, they were like, you know what? I'm just going to put on these Merrill hiking boots. Yes, back to the Merrills. Back to the, put the hiking boots on because, I'm going to accept them for what they are and just, navigate around them. And my friend said, oh, I don't want to accept this situation right now. And I said, that's okay. And truly, that is okay. If you don't want to accept it, you just have to be okay with the fact that you're not accepting it and you're in resistance because you're still kind of trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And that's okay. But what I will say is this, once you figure out what happened, do not dwell there and beat yourself up. That's when you say to yourself, okay, well, what's my next travel plan? Where am I going next? Because once I accept it, I can move on and I can move to the next thing. Because once you're in acceptance, you can use and engage your superpower of deciding and choosing how you want to interact with what is going on. And so to put that in Scotland terms, like when I got there, I could have been like, these cobblestones are a pain in my neck, but I don't care. I'm going to wear these Keds. And if you've ever worn Keds, they have no support. They are flat as a pancake on the bottom, so they're slippery as hell in the rain. But they're super cute when you have on little pedal pushers or rolled up little cuff jeans. But I was like, I'm not going to resist what is, which are these cobblestones for the sake of fashion. I really don't care. I'm going to put these murals on. They're not super cute, but they are utilitarian and they get the job done. And the fact is, once I accepted what it was, I could walk a mile straight uphill on these things and not really have much problem. So that's what I'm saying. So once you're in acceptance of what is, you can just go. So that's the third thing. So in this time of um, being striving for balance and peace in an unbalanced and kind of chaotic world, find your hiking boots. Find those shoes that are going to give you the stability, support, and traction you need. So that is like find that inner thing, that inner daily practice that's going to give you that. Number two, sweep your sidewalk, y'all. Keep your energy clean and clear because you're going to be interacting with other people who are not on this journey. And that's okay. Everybody's got to go to the grocery store. I mean, unless you can Instacart and live in a cave and have them deliver your groceries to your cave, you're going to have to go out. So make sure you keep your energy clean and grounded. And then lastly, accept the cobblestones for what they are. We can all look outside and be like, you know what? The world can be like not a super kind place and not, people are being mean to each other. But if we want to go and see some change, we got to follow Gandhi's advice and be the change that we want to see in the world. And so the only way to do that is to say, this is how the world is. Number one. Number two, do I like it? Not so much. Number three, am I going to wallow and resist or am I going to accept and change? I choose to accept and change. Sometimes I resist. We're not all perfect. And it's okay if you do. But the goal is to accept and then step into the change that you want to see in the world and within yourself. And it starts right inside. So, again, back to the whole find your hiking boots that make you feel good. So, those are the three things. And I want to pull some cards, as we do, and let you know what is it that will support us in doing those three things. Like, what is the energy? What do we need to embrace to kind of move into that space? Okay. So, let's see. And I'm just going to wait until, let's see here, cards. What do we need to know about creating balance within ourselves, even though we are dealing with an unbalanced world or we're witnessing an unbalanced world? You can't make this shit up. Okay, so the first card is Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being. What does that mean? That means what I just said. When you start being that which you want to see, be the change. So dream it. Like, first of all, think about, what do I want? What do I want to see? Do I want more kindness? What will bring me balance? Maybe eating healthier, maybe moving your body, whether it be dance or walking, running, Tai Chi, whatever your jam is. Like whatever it is that you feel you need, because to shake that energy loose and release it. It might be doing daily clearings, which I highly recommend everybody does, but it frees up that mind space so you can get creative and figure out, what do I want to see in the world and how can I embody that? That's dream the world into being. So that's our goal. Now, what are our helpers here? So this is the wombat, and she comes in upside down. Isn't she adorable? She's adorable, but a real wombat, don't go hugging on them because they can get a little aggressive, so don't do that. But she comes in upside down, which upside down means I didn't know that, I knew and I forgot, or I know and I don't want it. And I get the feeling for the collective, it's the third one, I don't know, I know and I don't want it, because being kind takes a higher vibration. And when you are dwelling in a collective that is kind of leaning towards lower vibration, dwelling in a high vibration can get a little bit, because you're walking uphill, it feels like. But if you can say to yourself, you know what, it is easy for me to stand in my high vibration, and I surround myself with other people that are high vibration, and you start intentionally drawing in other folks, so your world just starts looking more and more like what you want. That's where it becomes easier for you, because right now this is saying be at home, meaning be at home within yourself. We don't want to because it's just challenging sometimes, especially right now, but that is where you will find the peace. We have a tendency to want to seek affirmation and peace and understanding from outside because for whatever reason we have challenged doing it within. So this particular eclipse season might be really helpful for you to do some of that shadow work to really get clear on what it is that you need to do so that you can feel more at home within yourself, and then draw in and embody the stuff that you want to see in the world as it becomes a more peaceful place. But again, we got to go through some growing pains before we get there. And then lastly, take time out. I don't know about you all, but rest has been a message I keep getting from my heart chakra like nobody's business. So take time out. And brown bear spirit. We know brown bears. What did the brown bears do? They go hibernate for like, months, like 3 to 6 months, right? So, and we're kind of getting to that time where they're like, hey, it's time to chill. It's time to slow down and chill. And the funny thing is, we're heading into a season where all of the world outside of us wants us to, get fast because and start being more speedy because the holidays are coming. I don't know about you. We went to Home Depot to get a few things, yes, over the weekend, and we get in there and there's like Christmas everywhere. I'm like, dude, like, and at the time it wasn't even October. So it's a reminder that just because you're seeing it on television, you're seeing it at the store when you go to the store, whether it be, it's like holla thank Miss Christmas, like all of it rolled up in together because they want to make money. But that doesn't mean you have to participate. Go at a pace that is good. Take time out for you. And and again, it's almost like the fourth quarter of the year is a lot about really, really getting clear on your boundaries with your loved ones and your friends and social gatherings, because that's going to start picking up too. So, right now, October, I feel is a month that the veil is thinning, your intuition will kick in more, and really start listening to it. Reconnect, be at home with yourself, dream the world into being, figure out what it is you want now. I felt this kind of call to, if you guys, if you're watching and you've hung out with me, in a group or as a private coaching client or as a reading client, you may have done the what I call, like, I think it's launching rockets to desires, or getting clear on your values. The getting clear on your values thing, for some reason, normally it's like a New Year's thing and then maybe a birthday thing and maybe a mid-year thing that I do it. But for some reason this year, redoing values and getting really reconnected with your values, we've had a lot go on with all these retrogrades throughout the last couple of months. And we're all in a different version and place of who we are right now. So to really kind of establish where am I and what do I want is a big deal. So doing your values might be a good grounding exercise in October, but really it's just kind of being okay with who you are, finding where it is that you can find balance in your life. And a lot of it's going to be internal. Okay. And also the eclipse season, that 2 weeks between eclipses, is going to feel really either fast and kind of like you're falling through. If you watch Outlander and she talks about falling through the stone, before leave one place and you get to another time, and it feels like you're kind of in a car that's spinning or whatever. Like, I get the feeling that it's going to feel like that for a little bit if we're not really intentional about grounding, creating our own inner balance and peace. So just be aware that that's coming in the next, let's see, all my notes everywhere. On from the 14th to the 28th, because we have our new moon on the 14th and the full moon on the 28th of October. And in between there is an eclipse season. And that's going to start kind of like, and really kind of shifting, and it'll warp speed whatever it is that you are working on. And it is going to occur, let's see, the solar eclipse is in Libra, lunar eclipse is in Taurus. So, the first one is about reconnection. Second one is about releasing beliefs that are holding you back that have served all this time, but not so much anymore. And all that kind of meshed up in between, it'll warp speed you. So come November 1st, we're all going to look a lot different on the inside. But anyway, so our reading for this week is dreams, dream the world into being. So remember, thoughts become things. Figure out what you want. Be intentional. It's about intention, about peace being the path. Be at home within yourself to get that done. Really get okay with who you are. Embody yourself, like embody what you want and who you want to be, and do the things in the physical that looks like. So if that means movement, go move, go to a dance class, go walking, go jogging, go to a ballroom dancing, Tai Chi, whatever your thing is, get a massage, and then taking time out. So it's like really kind of a lot of doing some stuff to create within you the little microcosm world that you want to see that will then reverberate out and attract in the stuff that you want. So you will bring balance to your unbalanced experience. I think that is the biggest takeaway. So just so you know, this is a reading for the collective. If you need something more personal, I do offer those. You can find the link on my website, which if you see right here, here's my website, la la la. Then also, if you are looking for a place to come and do to travel in a group on your spiritual journey, I have the Celestial Soul Circle. This is a group where we meet at least twice a month on the new and the full moon energy, and we do clearing, charging, intention setting, celebrations of manifestation, gratitude, lots of like clearing meditations, and then we charge your energy for the next lunar cycle. And just there's pop-up workshops and then digital workshops that you can attend, and just a community that is really lovely, that especially if you are a woopreneur who is a solopreneur by yourself like me, it's nice to have a circle of people that you can kind of hang out with, and of other ladies who do the same thing. And if you're a light leader in your workplace, and what does that even look like? A light leader to me is someone that when you may not be the boss, but you are the person that walks in and brightens up the room. Everybody knows when you show up that there is just more fun and more love in the room. And that it can be, it's something we love to do as light workers, but it can be, where you need to go recharge. So this circle is where you get to recharge. You don't need to be the head of the table. And, as a light worker, as somebody that is on a spiritual journey, this is where you can come talk the same talk with heart-centered and like-hearted ladies, and do a moon circle, learn some stuff about what all the signs are, and the phases that we're doing. And then I think this month we're going to do the new moon and the full moon, but we're going to work on the eclipse work. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and check out the link below, or you can email me or message me. Love to chat about that if that's something you're interested in. And other events going on. Remember, on the 31st of this month, right here on YouTube, and I'm only going to do it on YouTube because it's a pain in the patootie to do it on Facebook, because I won't see your questions. So you can watch it on Facebook, but if you want to ask questions, you need to be on YouTube to post in the comments. But I'm going to do card pulls, do the 6th annual, can you believe 6 years, 6th annual Halloween lunchtime card pull for an hour. And I will do as many readings as I can in an hour's time. And you have to be present. You cannot pre-submit questions. You cannot ask them after it's over. So you need to be with me live. You need to be on the YouTube channel, which is at Soul Coach Studio. So a little @ with Soul Coach Studio will get you to the YouTube channel. You can even go there now and hit the notify me button on the Halloween video, and it will send you a little message when to join us. Or you can, I did put an invite on Facebook, but it does go straight to the YouTube channel. But you got to be on the YouTube channel, because I can't guarantee that I will see the Facebook stuff, because Facebook loves to futz around with their algorithms and their coding. So I cannot guarantee that I will see your comment. But on the 31st at 11:30 a.m. Central, I will go live in the YouTube channel space, and I will be answering your questions. I'm pulling cards for you for an hour. So I would love to see you there. And then What else? Oh, and then of course in November we're going to do the 2024 reading for the collective for the New Year readings, and then open up that. So if you're a VIP, who's a VIP? VIPs are coaching clients in the last year. Anybody who got their New Year reading last year, Celestial Soul Circle members are VIPs. The VIPs get their you have to watch your email, but you will be getting notification to pre-book your stuff, because that way those folks that are VIPs get the pre-sale, and that's the best seats in the house. So if you are looking for a special date like a Saturday, which are highly limited and highly coveted, the VIPs will get you there. So if you want to be on the VIP list and you are not somebody who's worked with me privately in the last year, did not get your 2023 New Year reading last year, you can jump in by joining the Celestial Soul Circle if that's your jam. So, and you get all the moon things, you get the eclipse things, and you get the pre-sale, so that you get the choice of best date and time for you to get your New Year reading. And I am so excited to do all that. I'm excited to be back. There's so much in my head. Like right now, I'm so excited because Darren is actually going to be helping me create a school online of all the content that I have been putting together over the last year. This wall is going to get painted back to what it was, since we're going to, we decided to stay here. And I'm excited because it's going to be back to that navy slate blue that matches my angel painting. If you can see, one of my former clients, Kelly, she's amazing, painted that ginormous picture for me. And we're going to paint the walls this. I know that looks kind of, but if you guys remember from previous videos, and that just feels more like me. And then I'll get to decorate my office the way I want, and it'll make me really happy. So a lot of good things coming. I don't know about you guys, but this last full moon that was in Aries kind of like released a bunch of shit. My trip to Scotland released a bunch of shit. And so now that I can go and just feel like getting more stuff done and getting back into the swing of things. So I'm excited. October is going to be great. Oh, and if you're in Nashville on the 7th, which is this Saturday I will be at Aroma G's in Donaldson from 10:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. Therefore, if you want to come and get an energy reading or intuitive reading and some energy work that is merited, we'll do that too. But I am, they're walk-ins only, so you can't make an appointment. You can come on down there and hang out with me. And other than that, since I have been yammering for a while, because I had a lot to say since I wasn't here last week, but I'm so excited to be back. I'm glad that I was with you this morning. If you're watching the replay, thank you for joining me in the ethers. Other than that, until next week, have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful October. Remember, give yourself the space and the sacredness to take care of yourself right now. Lots of figuring out, how can I create balance? Create that sacred daily ritual that will give you the balance you're looking for, whether it's meditation, walking, running, exercising, communing with spirit, whatever it is, or a blend of all of it that works for you. Just take care of yourself. Remember, dream the world into being. Get okay with being at home within yourself. Take time out. Take time out so you can do all that stuff. Everything will be there when you come back to it. If you're like, oh, but I got all this to-do list, it'll be there when you're done taking your 5 minutes, if that's all you got. Okay? That's it for today. I love you so much. Have a great week. And until next time, I'll see you in the vortex. Bye, y'all.